There we go. Good evening, everybody. I actually need to send out a tweet. Live from ForgeCraft One.
Suddenly I can fly again.
I guess you totally forgot. Spoilers, me. Yeah, everybody else is equally as perplexed about this whole Minecraft thing. So I noticed something earlier. Okay, tweet's been sent. I noticed something earlier. I was going to look for ladders. Hang on a sec. Ladders. There we go. I'm going to put some out here for the sake of, why not? Right there. But I noticed something while getting prepped for the live stream this evening. There's a little box in your YouTube configuration, your live stream control panel. You tell it what category of live stream you're going to do. Is it going to be like lifestyle? Is it going to be like entertainment? Is it going to be all this stuff? If you flag it as games, then there's a drop down list that appears and you can select or fill in a little box that says what game you're playing. Minecraft isn't listed there anymore. It was listed there Tuesday afternoon. When we did the Tuesday live stream, it fills in. You start doing MINE, and it pops up a little box that says Minecraft and Minecraft Story Mode. Now it just says Minecraft Story Mode. I'm curious about that. I don't know. So, okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of people. We've got Mr. Wirewolf. We've got Kiro5505. Dynix. I finally made it to ForgeCraft. Oh, how I missed you so. Donny Mims, hey Donny. Luke Jackson's here. Mr. Cuts is here. Cuts, you're actually here in voice too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. I'm just talking a lot. He's used to it though. Marcus Hutzler, Peak 81, Grimtides. Bebro Egger? I'm gonna guess. Yeah, let's go with that. And let's swap over. Go ahead and swap over to game footage here real quick. Whee. I'm doing good. So far, so good. How about you, Cuts? How's your day been going so far?
It's been okay. I've made some decent progress with the ATG stuff. I say that. I've made decent progress with the thing for visualizing my tests.
So your testing tool set is getting more robust.
Yeah, it's you see what I had before was I'd work out the noise stuff and it would render a height map, right?
Right.
And I would have a 3D representation of that height map just so I could see what shape it looked like, because you can only get so much from a black and white kind of gradiated flat image.
Yep.
You have to. So I used 3.dart because I'm writing it in the language Dart, which is a web language that compiles to JavaScript, and that was a port to Dart of 3.js, which is a popular 3D graphics library for JavaScript. Turns out that's now so old it no longer works. It's so out of date that it no longer functions. So what I've been doing is writing a thing using Dart's JavaScript interop thing, which allows it to work with JavaScript libraries to use 3.js from Dart. And it's working.
You're having to make a new tool.
I'm having to write a thing that allows them to use the one that the JavaScript one instead. Yeah. Okay, so basically.
Yeah, and this is going to help you visualize your work on alternate terrain generation.
Yeah, it's much faster. It's much faster, and it's easier to get an overview if you're just generating a bit of the height map in that, rather than having to come into Minecraft every time because of the loading times and everything. And you can only see so many chunks around you, rather than a huge landscape to see proper distribution over long distances and stuff like that. So
yes. Yes, on Mr. Cuts' Christmas list, we do have a new headset microphone for him. Sure. We all work with what we got, folks. Don't get picky. Let's see. Yeah, Cuts is speaking geek. Yes, and he's gone over my head several times, but I get the point.
Speaking modder.
Yeah, I'm getting the overall reasoning behind it. He is trying to better visualize the data from the tests he's doing for generating noise maps, and the point of the noise maps is would you say a more natural?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. I mean, it's what makes the terrain. It's the ups and downs of the terrain, so it's visualizing how it'll look.
Mm-hmm. So it looks
Right.
less. So it looks less formulaic, cut and paste, and more slightly random.
Well, I mean, it's pretty random now, but in a different way.
Right.
It's just
There's not
methods
much,
of doing it.
There's not much variation though in some of the vanilla stuff, at least not in my opinion.
Well, there is between different biomes, but the thing is, it's
yeah.
very much the terrain is constrained to the biome rather than the biome emerging from the terrain, which is what ATG does. So.
And what you're trying to do is make it to where there's less of these one giant blotch here of birch forest, one giant blotch there of whatever. You're trying to mix it up a little bit more?
It works a different way. In like, at the moment, you get hills where it's extreme hills because it's an extreme hills biome, right? And that's a blob of extreme hills biome, and therefore you get hills in there. Whereas with ATG, you get, here's a mountain, and because it's really high up, it's going to be colder because of the thin air, so it's got snow up on the top of the mountain, so it might be a taiga or icy plains or whatever.
Okay,
but further down the mountain, because it's warmer, you might get plains and forest and then a beach, stuff like that.
So it's actually the other way around.
Yeah, it builds the terrain and puts the biomes based on the terrain rather than the other way around.
Oh, okay. I actually understand that now. I get it. Hey, Seconder. I hope you're feeling better, Seconder. You were in the hospital Tuesday. I hope you're feeling better. And thank you, Marcus. Marcus says I have a soothing voice. Whatever. I just do my thing. So yeah.
I have more generators.
Oh yeah, you have generators. Cuts put down. Well, actually, wait a minute. First of all, over here there's a new thing that Cuts built, and he finally. What was it? The ritual. There's a tool you had to use.
Yeah, the editing thing that it lets you redefine the area that it affects,
Right.
and I changed that and it started working.
Can't remember what it's called, but basically this is all within one chunk, right here. That's what these little cobblestone with lights on them are. Back there.
The main point was we have them upside down, in that the one that's on top is meant to be on the bottom, and the one that's on the bottom is meant to be on top. But none of the documentation said that, so I got very annoyed at Way.
Exactly. So basically what he had to do, what Cuts had to do, was get a specific tool that is a part of blood magic. Words fail me. And redefine the work area for each of the actual, well, not for one, just the other one, right?
Just the bottom one.
Yeah.
I think, no, just the top one. The second area for the top one, so that its growing area was below it instead of above it.
We thought this one. Yeah,
that one works fine because its area is around its core, but the one above, the area was above its core instead of around it, so I had to change it so it was below, and now it works.
So yeah, basically after redefining the area, we have points, we have things getting done. I think you said over here. Yeah. Wait a minute.
Pop that in there. You can see it going in a mo.
So,
but I turned them both off because I wanted the other crystallizer to grow a crystal, and it hasn't. It's the back one's just grown lots of crystals. I hope this will be enough for it to actually grow one.
So in order to make this what we thought would be more efficient and more effective, we put a chunk loader down. Unfortunately, that put Mr. Cuts right at his limit for extra utilities power, which means that now he needs to go put some more generators down because when it's nighttime, he can't fly.
Yeah, the solar panels go off and I plummet to the ground.
So he needs to go do that. But we do have crystals growing. I'm actually glad that we got this working. However, I am going to put a bit of a pause button myself on Blood Magic for this evening and work on refined storage. But, oh yeah, for anybody that's not aware, this is the chunk loader right here. And you can see it uses power grid power. I think there is 2 left during the daytime, and it goes below that marker. And this takes priority over his flight ring. So at nighttime, when the solar panels go out, he ends up walking.
And then some.
Yeah. So I'm fly back over here.
I'm going to be doing more building over here, but not functional. I'm just going to make a building around it to make it look nicer.
That's cool.
While Vegram does that.
We will be checking in. Let's see.
The ritual killed a sheep. Mutton lying on the ground.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it nearby?
Yeah, it wandered into the death range of the thing.
That's hilarious. Cuts go splat. Yeah, TTFT splats. Exactly. That's what happens when he falls. Refined storage, one of the best new mods in 110. I actually don't know yet, Marcus. So one big thing that we had the revelation of, I didn't notice this initially. Mr. Cuts pointed it out to me. This does not just use iron. It uses quartz enriched iron. So we didn't have a lot of quartz. Now we do. But we actually also have, if you do a search for quartz, I made a whole bunch of quartz enriched iron so that we would be able to seamlessly go through. So I did a big run of just basically taking we have over here in a chest, we have an Ender IO pick that's been tricked out with Fortune 4 and mending, which means it's basically self-repairing. The only thing I have to worry about is the battery on it, but that's easy. And I took one of our charged porters right here. I went into the nether and I just went in a straight line and started mining. And I wasn't actually tunneling most of the time. I was flying. I'd see a spot, see a spot, see a spot, and get more and more and more. And I got stacks and stacks and stacks of quartz after about an hour. So that's what I did earlier today before the stream. So I'm hoping we have a lot of the resources we need. Uh-oh, Mr. Cuts is getting buffering. Yeah, I've been kind of... actually, Google Cloud Storage or something like this had a load balancing issue that was affecting Discord earlier, and it's supposed to potentially be affecting other services that rely on parts of Google. There's a distinct possibility that bits of YouTube's live streaming service might be a little wonky because we're buffering through something that has a load balancer that's currently taking a dirt nap. Hey, Mo Lee, what's going on? Reloaded the page, fixed it for Grimtides, he says. Hey, Dallas Nap.
Yeah, scrub back a bit and click live again and it's fine.
Yeah, so we're just going to have to stay on top of it and see what happens. Okay. I'm trying to remember. There's basic machine casings. We are going to need some of these. There it is. I don't know. I'm going to make 4, I guess, because I got no clue. There's fluid, there's pattern. Okay, crafting I think is one of the ones we want to make, but we have to make a solderer first, and that I'm looking for. There it is right here. Solderer needs to be connected with a controller by placing it adjacent to or connecting it with a cable. Okay, so I'm gonna make, I can make 2 of those. That's awesome. That is perfect. Thank you. Huh?
I really hope that this is just a display issue.
You really hope what?
No, it literally blanks the thing out. What the heck, way?
What's wrong?
Take a Tartaric gem, craft it against a Demon Will crystal, and it empties the gem. Instead of adding 50 from the gem. From the crystal. I made sure to test it on the one that was already empty, thankfully.
Okay, so I need to find, where's the controller? Storage block. Nope. Crafter. Controller, hey! Silicon. We do actually have some silicon, but that does bring to mind the fact that I might want to get more. I'm actually gonna...
Must get to house before it goes dark.
I put ladders.
Ah!
What? The sound of play of TTF
as I go
cuts.
plop into the water.
Yeah, sound of cuts plummeting into the water. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of kerplunk this. Ooh, that's pretty. I'm gonna put that on top. It's probably hideous, but whatever. I need, let's see. We have tons of clay. If I remember right. I think it was clay that... Yep. Yeah, clay, you run through and it gets you silicon. That's right. We have tons of clay blocks, so I may as well. Honestly. Let's do that. and get some more silicon going because I noticed we do not have a ton and we can get more. I do not need any more of those. Let's put all that stuff back. So now we have the solderer. Let's go over here real quick. Were they wise enough to... No, they weren't. There are no recipe buttons. Okay. So I'm going to need a grid, which I can just straight up craft. Okay.
The question is, what's a good place for me to put these lava-filled generators?
Lava filled?
Well, there's going to be lava between them. Remember what happened with the house last time?
Oh, yeah. Let's not put them next to the house.
Maybe I'll just go put them in Lagland.
I was about to say, you might have to. It should still be dialed to that, I think. Okay, so
Bucket.
we're going to have to make grid. Basic processor.
Oh, no buckets there.
Printed. Oh, okay. So let's get... I'm going to make a stack of these real quick.
I have some.
Go over here. Go over here. Yeah, okay, let's just do that. Wait a minute, what? Does this need power also? I'm betting it does. Okay, I'm going to get this and put it up out of the way. And get this. No. Yeah, okay. So this, via direct contact, is providing power. I'm just not sure how we're supposed to. Yeah, I can't right-click it. Shift left-click and shift right-click won't go into the... I'm not sure how to use the machine. That's not good. Atomic Blom is snuck in.
What are you looking to do?
Okay, this thing I'm staring at is a solderer, right?
Are you using the correct silicon?
The who? No. There is a thing where you can get... Where is it? A printed basic processor, right? Oh, that's an iron ingot, not a quartz enriched iron ingot. Dang it, that's why it's not taking it. Because I'm not paying attention. Okay, let's just get a stack of that.
They do look very similar.
They look super similar to me. Yep, okay, there we go. Awesome. That is eating power. Let's put the iron over here. That's just going to make some. Hopefully they stack. What are these made with? Those are made with gold. I'm just going to go ahead and make a variety of these things. Let's see.
There was one of these missing. Why was there one missing?
One of what's
Hey,
missing?
hon.
Yeah.
This stream is completely foobarred on everybody's viewing end. It keeps
Really?
replaying the same clip every time we refresh, and I'm not the only one. And I have had to refresh like 8 times.
Okay. Hold tight, everybody. Let's do... Hit live and tell me what's up.
I still see stuff okay. But instead of refreshing, I'm pulling it back a bit and then clicking live again.
Apparently hitting it would show the same segment of clip and then...
Oh, no, it is. Yeah, it keeps resetting. I don't have the sound on the stream, so I didn't notice.
Grimtide says hides the towel. Okay. YouTube is having issues with streams at the moment, it seems. Yeah, I told Bay he's looking into it. So basically what I did was I stopped the stream real quick. I'm hoping everybody can actually see this. I stopped the stream real quick. I changed it from the primary to the backup ingestion server at YouTube's end. They have 2 different intake points, and in my area at least. And I started it back up real quick. So yeah. No, I figured the solder out. I had the wrong ingots because they look so... This is basically... These things look identical to me. Actually,
They're almost identical anyway.
I can show you how identical they look.
I mean, they're almost... they're basically exactly the same colour. One is ever so slightly more yellow and has 2 little stripes on it. Other than that, it's pretty much the same.
I have 2 stacks of ingots. One has 48 and one has 64. I defy you to tell me.
Ooh. Oh, I'd say I'll look, but it's still playing the same clip.
You should be able to refresh it.
I was gonna say, refresh, Guts. That should fix it.
Will I catch the thing in time?
I'm holding, because I'm waiting anyway. I'm waiting on the solder.
Bottom one's quartz.
You can tell?
It's got those 2 little diagonal stripes around the middle of it.
Really?
Yeah, look, from top left to bottom right, 2 diagonal stripes.
Wow.
To the top right, the 6.
I can barely see anything like that. That's crazy. Okay. And of course, I can tell...
Besides an extremely subtle color difference, that's the only difference in color as well.
Yeah, I can tell the difference between these. Printed basic and printed improved. I get that, because the printed basic is darker. I'm hip. But these two, if there is a difference... Oh, itchy nose. If there is a difference, it is super subtle. Super subtle. Yeah, I do need colorblind helper. I've asked T-Terag, the guy that makes it, the maintainer of it, and I got a kind of an answer. So they need to look into seeing if it's possible in 110, which I think means they don't want to update it. I think that's code for they don't want to touch the code. So yeah, I can see a slight difference. The edges around the middle one, that improved circuit, the tier 2 circuit, is lighter, and the middle is lighter. So it's like the middle of the tier 2 and the tier 3 circuit are the same, but the tier 3 circuit has a darker outside. So I can at least differentiate all of these 3 things apart: basic, improved, and advanced. That's good. This is dumb. Quartz and enriched quartz, there needs to be something a bit more to kick it up or something. That's silly. And I see a lot of other parts around here that look like they're gonna potentially give me some trouble.
the main characteristic of that is those 2 diagonal stripes.
Yeah. Okay, let's kick it back from bigger vision back into normal vision, so everybody else doesn't have to suffer like I do. Okay, I've got some parts now. I think I'm going to dump these back in upstairs in our current and kind of messy sorting system. I grabbed a chest that had some space, and I added a refined storage to the mod list for it. So there is a chest that's going to have specifically refined storage things in it.
Any spell lava hanging around anywhere?
Huh?
Nah, I'll just go to the nether and grab some.
Did you just come back
Lava.
from Lag House?
Yep.
There should be...
Oh, the smeltery. Well, we moved it, didn't we?
In the small room where you show up at the far end, is there not a little container with lava?
Oh, maybe. Oh, I've grabbed some from the tanks on the smeltery anyway.
Yeah, we should have some spare. I thought we had some spare up there. Okay. So we were going to do... Let's see. Okay, construction core, 2 improved processors, and a destruction core. So, we actually have to make some of these things. So I'm going to need, let's see, basic processor, construction core, that's a basic processor. Destruction core is a basic processor. What else does this thing need? 2 improved processors. Okay. So it looks like I need 2 basics, 2 tier 1 chips, 2 tier 2 chips. Okay. So if we do, oh, no wonder it's messing up. There we go. And 2 of those. think I also need, just to make that, I'm going to need some
Okay.
redstone.
That should be good enough. I've added another 16 power.
Silicon. There we go.
I
Okay.
think that's enough.
You do not sound sure of that.
I can't remember how much they need, and how I didn't know how much we were over.
You were over by 2 and under by, I don't know, 4 something? Can't remember. No, the ring is 8. Nope, that's not right.
No, the ring's 32.
Yeah, the ring's 32. Yeah. You were like
The grid's
over,
32 out of 88 now.
Yeah. You were over by 2 during the day, or 4 during the day. At least I think, according to when I looked at the chunk loader. Okay, so we want to get, this is, okay, that's just silicon. I'm going to make some of these drive casings. Yeah, it's a rods versus cones thing. She has it right, actually. So here's how I remember. Old televisions, old tube TVs, CRTs, right? Cathode ray tubes. Those color TVs had a cathode ray tube system to do the actual colors on the inside of the television. They little things that kind of painted the inside of the TV. It had a zinc something coating. I can't write anyway. Color TVs used tubes to make color. Eyes use not rods or tubes, but cones to make color. So I have rods. I'm liking cones. Well, I have them. They're just super defective. Also, hi, Zephyr One Spirit. What's going on? And Chris Jackman. And Greater C. And Berg. And Brad Batslap. Yeah, I'm going through and doing some of the boring stuff right now. The early things that we need to do for... let's see. We're going to do one of those, and one of those. And it's going to make something. Fingers crossed. But I'm doing some of the boring-y stuff for refined storage. I want to see if we can get at least some basic storage working before the end of the stream. That is the... Hey, there we go. Okay, that is right. So do one of those in the bottom, redstone in the middle, one of these doodads on top. Doodads. Yeah, phosphorus. That's right. Phosphorus on the inside. Yeah, so if you broke a CRT, if you broke the glass, this puff of phosphorus dust would come shooting out of it. It was kind of unpleasant. And did. Cool. Okay, this is going well. So, stream's still going okay for everybody? We don't have any weird buffering or looping or anything? I'm taking
Fine on my end.
Yeah.
Seems okay. Just watched you start pressing a thing with the gold redstone and cases.
Okay, so now, wait a minute. Oh, I need to make 2 more of those. Whoops. I didn't bring enough. Oh, no, that's right. I was going to do... Let's see. That is glowstone. And that's quartz. So I need glowstone. Put the rest of that back and get that. Construction core. And we do quartz. One of those. Destruction core. We have a grid. Dun, 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 dun. And it's not hooked up to anything. Okay, actually, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm gonna put this here. Okay, if I put this down, it is. It's like AE where they would chain through machines. That's cool. I like that. So as long as they're all touching, it's fine, you know? The connectivity with the controller. So the next thing that I got to figure out, I think we need to make a disk drive, which is an advanced processor which means I need to get one of these bad boys. Go down here. We're going to do this, this, and I think that. Let's see what that makes. Okay, I'm getting a whole bunch of working here, working here, working here. Hey, Paula, I didn't see you sneak in. And yes, it's okay to not be a coffee drinker. My wife's a tea drinker. She does drink coffee randomly and occasionally, but primarily she's yeah. What's the thing you've been drinking? Dirty chai?
Dirty chai and peach tea.
It sounds weird. Something that is intentionally dirty just sounds gross, but whatever. Let's see. I was going to make one of those. I need another machine casing, which is actually super simple. We're going to be able to do all sorts of really neat stuff with this, like Autocrafting, and let's get a chest. Oak chest. Hey, what do you know? Let's go back to here. This in the middle, that on top, chest in the bottom, and something is being made. I have no clue what.
And technically, dirty chai is coffee. It's just also tea.
Yes, it's like both.
Exactly.
I grew up here in the South with this stuff called sweet tea, and I never liked it because everybody always made it too sweet, or straight tea without any sweet to it was gross and, bitter or whatever. I didn't like it, so it's one of those things. It was not my cup of tea. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, speed upgrades, range upgrades, crafting upgrades. It's interesting. Blank upgrade. Stack upgrade, interdimensional upgrade. Ooh, wonder what that is. I have no clue. Let's see.
I assume it allows the remote grid thingies to connect across dimensions to a point.
You are probably correct. Okay, this is what I want. The storage doohickeys. You heard me? Okay, so we need to make I don't know, make one. We'll start small and work our way up. Let's put all that back. And so if we do uses on this, we can get 3 of it. Is real. This is dead on like AE2. It's like some weird hybrid kind of.
It's half of one and half of the other, pretty much, in terms of the recipes.
One Wolf Plays, thank you very much for subscribing. Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's like some things it's simpler, but some things it's the same. Kind of. So I do this.
My primary concern is how the crafting works. Beyond that, I'm largely indifferent to which one is which.
What?
Because,
what?
I quite like the channels, but I don't really mind that they're gone, for example. In this versus AE2.
Oh my god. Now, okay, this is a bit of a pet peeve. I do think this could be redone. There's no update to the actual disk drive when you have a disk in the disk drive. You know how this works? Hopefully they'll work on it, though. No big deal.
It's a more complex rendering thing, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be done with states, I suppose. It depends.
Okay.
I don't know enough about it yet.
I have 20 things. Happens to be redstone, but 20 things in there. And we can do... that's 20 out of 1,000 on a 1K disk. 2% full. It's actually not bad. Which means now, okay, if we get this thing, can we? Nope. Okay, that is one thing that I think is a bit of a flaw, but that's okay. There were ways to take the cores out and to... Oh, wait a minute. I wonder if you can do it that way. Shift right click. Yep. Awesome. Oh, hi. Okay, so yeah, it really is. You shift right click it and take the core out, which means we can now make... Let's see. In order to make a 4K, we got to make some more 1Ks anyway. 1, 2. And then we're going to go... Basic processor. So I do need some more How many of those do I need? 4. Redstone. Let's get that out. Okay. So we go back over here to the soldering machine. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put 4 of those in. Let's make those real quick. Easily done with states, says Steve Blum. Oh, wait, he says. He says. Oh, welcome back, Mr. Marcus Hutzler. Since it's not 8 distinct states, I know how I do it with states, but it's not quite simple since it's not 8 distinct states. I don't know.
Yeah, it's even harder when you take into account the whole colors for how full the drive is and stuff like that. It becomes an awful lot of different variables.
Oh, I just think it would be good to have a square light up if there was a drive in it or not. That's the only thing I want. I don't want, like, fullness factor. That's going to be that's a whole nother kettle of fish. Right now, I just think it would be a good start to actually have them indicate, hey, there is X number of slots full, I don't know if that makes it easier or if it doesn't really change it at all. But 4K, so now what do we do? This and this. 4K storage. That's very cool. Which means now there's a whole bunch of this stuff. I'm going to leave it there for the time being until we get upgraded a little bit. But we do have a miniature storage system. If I get... let's get some redstone. Full stack. And a full stack is going to be 1% full. So it's 64 out of 4,000 items, which is basically less than 1%. That's very neat, I have to admit. But what we want to do is we want to get this thing. I think it's this. Yep. We get a crafting table and an advanced processor. So I'm going to do crafting. We do have a crafting table sitting around. Processor. Let's go make an advanced processor real fast. I'm going to put that on the top, that on the bottom. Gooey redstone center in the middle. Could do it like fence parts, though. One for each light. What are you talking about, Cuts?
The fences have like 4 things which say, is it attached north, is it attached south, east, west? And they show the section of fence in that direction when that thing is there, and it's kind of modular.
Right.
Or like always shows the post, only shows the directional bits if that thing is yes.
So
I was wondering, could you not do it that way with one for each of the bay lights on the front?
I think it'd be cool. I just have to like to have the squares fill up for each one when you have a drive.
Well, that's what I mean.
Slide. Yeah. And again, I'm not asking for like what percentage full each one is. That's complicated.
Well, it wasn't percentage before. It was just green when there was space, yellow when it was full on types, but not data, and red when it was completely full.
Right. Okay. So now, crafting grid. Yes. Okay. So I'm seeing a lot of people saying go to 64K right away. If this was AE2, I would disagree with you, because inevitably the larger drives are a complete waste of time. I never filled up anything. I always filled up on types before I filled up on space with AE2.
I generally went for this second size drives, whichever they were. The yellow ones.
So that's the thing, is
not
that
really relevant.
With this, we only have item number. That's it. There is no type. There's only stat count. Which means the larger drives actually are more beneficial.
Wow, that makes wow. Yeah, that takes away the whole managing what's on a disk thing now.
Yes, it does. You can still do that because there are void upgrades you can put on drives. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a strategy to help optimize your space usage by making sure that you only get a certain number of types of item on a single disk to maximize space.
Oh yeah, to be sure. However, we do have to remember this is a much more streamlined brand new start. It might get there eventually, but for right now, he's starting simple and he's working his way up. I actually don't know if it's a he or she. I'm not sure. They are starting simple and working their way up. So yeah, for right now, this is more streamlined and more simplistic of a strategy. You really don't have to manage as much because there's no channels. That's been removed. There's no types on the storage mediums. We haven't even gotten into like the storage blocks for crafting. I think I know how those work. Okay, controller, creative controller, storage block. Actually, I'm not sure. Okay. Network transmitter. Network receiver. Ooh, that's a little pricey. Processing patterns. Okay, there's a crafter. It's got fluid storage blocks. That's actually pretty cool. I like that.
Yep.
But I'm trying to determine if these blocks, this 1K storage block is just a block I plonk down and stuff gets stored in it somewhere. Like, is it abstract cloud storage, or does this have to do with the actual crafting system?
That depends how like 2 it is, because they look like the ones from 2, which were the storage for like how much stuff you could craft in one craft.
Right. That's what I was thinking. How much craft can a Minecraft craft if Minecraft could craft mines? There are no types in refined storage. Yeah, just straight items. Yeah. Very late, but stream is delayed. I started from the beginning. Says Zephyr. Oh, okay. So far, I haven't seen the storage blocks used, says Dynex. I don't think the storage blocks for crafting are required, at least for small recipes. The storage blocks are like crafting storage. Yeah, okay. That's what everybody's saying. Actually, gonna get this stuff out. And for giggles.
Yeah, seeing those was what gave me hope that it would be, crafting like 2 rather than like 1. Because 1 had a lot of problems when you had a lot of crafting that was based on interfaces. When you have machines that did the recipes instead.
Oh, right. That's where I was usually like exporting out of the network or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's when it's like it's not so much a thing in many mods, but it's a concern when you're working with stuff like Ender.io. So you can order up a soul in a jar or whatever.
Right.
It was whenever you had a machine that could do more than one of the recipes that you needed in a thing, it could get jammed because it would put both sets of materials in and it would get stuck. But 2 did it in correct order and solved that problem by storing the things and putting them through one at a time.
Okay, so the network transmitter and network receiver, I think, could be cool because we could have all the storage upstairs. And I could actually retrofit a lot of this system that we've got. Like, okay, let me show you guys real quick. Whee! I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to show. Yeah, okay, straight down there. That chunk of conduit that goes straight down, what it's doing is it's going down here. This is where it comes down. And then it interfaces with a drawer controller right there. So there's one drawer controller for this entire bank, both sides. This whole thing, they are connected through these things called trim. This is all one storage controller for this one, one storage controller for this one. So since we wouldn't have to use the conduits from Ender.io anymore, because we're not going to have to transport the liquid, we're not going to have to transport the power and use the item conduits, we could pull all of that out. The only thing is, I don't know how, if we can cover up these cables at all. That's one concern I have before we could do much of anything with this. The only other thing I could think of is move some machines around and just put a whole bunch of storage right over here on this side and move like the SI and everything else over to that side of the actual workshop. That could work, but that does mean all of our storage is going to be right here. Or, well, no, that still doesn't take into account these things. Yeah, okay. I think it'd be cool to have a control panel or a block that we could actually like we have right here. Maybe we replace these two and we just set it right here on the front of the trim, and it would be connected to something. I don't know if we could do that with network receiver and network transmitter. A little fuzzy on that. Hey, Vay, what have I missed? How long have you been streaming? Hey, Diamond. We have been going for 26 minutes. I've not been streaming for 45. No, I have been streaming for 45. Yeah, I had to restart. Yes, sorry. Berg's right. 45 minutes. Crafting is a little derpy, but not too bad, says Brad. To be honest, I see no difference between refined. I've seen no difference between refined and AE2. Well, we've already discovered a couple of differences, Chris Jackman.
They're quite significant differences, in fact.
Yeah. There are certain aspects where it's closer to 1, and certain aspects where it's closer to 2, and then there's 1 or 2 things, like the fact that there's no types. Even AE1 had types on disks. That was still a thing.
Yeah, that was a fundamental limitation of the storage. It was meant for, deliberately there.
Micropart compatible cables, I believe, so chisel and bits. Okay. That does mean, I tell you what, let's make, I'm actually going to pull all this stuff out. Let's do it in this system until we get better, actually I'm going to hold on to that for now, better sorted. There we go. I'm going to make, let's see, the cables, no, external storage. We can actually use cables, and like external storage is just a thing you stick on the back. So I could still use all these storage drawers and put one external storage connector interfacing right where that actual drawer controller is. I could still do that. That is a thing, which makes me very happy. Okay, so those are quartz enriched iron and okay, let's put all that back. So we do have some cables. Where did you... Mr. Cuts, are you working over here?
No. Oh, over here, yeah. Not in the house.
Covering it up, what do you think? Could we just chisel panels on around it? Or
I think they need to sort out the interior of those having faces, because that's ugly. Like if you look at it from the side, on the outside, the sides have vertical lines, but on the opposite interior faces, they don't.
Yeah, I can see the horizontal flat stuff, but not the vertical stuff. It's weird.
And then again, the horizontal flat stuff is probably the same. It's just you're seeing, when you look up, you're seeing the bottom of one, and when you look down, you're seeing the top of the other.
I don't know. But do you think we could just make a wood tube, a sleeve, so to speak, for these things to go up?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe bust out some of the chisel and bit stuff and see if we could do that then. So we have some cables. What does this look like? Wow, okay, that's kind of dull. But part of me is happy it doesn't do any weird flashing or anything. That was one thing I used to see in high volume if you didn't have your settings real fine-tuned with AE2. Can't believe I almost missed it. Took a nap and overslept, says Damon. The cables are MC part compatible. You can make your own facades with chisels and bits, yeah.
To be honest, I think if they were... If they don't have anything inside them like that, they should be solid rather than transparent.
That's why I'm wondering why they're not just solid with a slightly light gray.
I mean, honestly, I think it should be, if it had that, and then the interior section that's currently transparent was instead like quartz color.
Yeah.
So it had a kind of light core. I think that would look really nice.
Well, the guy that actually makes the mod, the person, I need to stop that.
That's true. I could just suggest that and even supply texture and see what it looks like.
Exactly. Yeah, they hang out on ForgeCraft now. Actually, I don't know if they actually hang out on the server, but they are ForgeCraftian now. Resistance is futile.
Haven't seen them doing so, but honestly, coming in at this point on a server's lifespan is a bit...
Yeah. There's lots of people playing older stuff right now. Okay, constructors and deconstructors, I get the point of. So let me think. What do I want to do? Okay, one thing I want to do real quick. I want to prove that is a chisel. I want a chisel and bits chisel. Let's get one of those. Put all the rest of that away. These are spruce. Okay. Let's get some spruce. And seam. Let's see, where do I want to do this? I'm just going to test it right over here. Okay. I think. Nope, wrong button. There we go. Plain. Now it just lops a plane off. I'm trying to remember. It's been 2 shakes since I've had to mess with this. Okay, that is, yeah, 100%. So I definitely could. Can do that. Wait a minute. Yeah, that is one plane. That's cool. Okay, so we can actually disguise them, which means if I pull out the whole system, the old system from Ender.io, we don't have to worry about that, which is perfect. Okay, so now what I need to do is make that log whole again. It's just an ordinary piece of spruce now. Okay, so that means we can clear these out. You aren't supposed to be connecting. It's funny. See, they're not over here. Okay, that's cool. I like that. That's neat. But what? Yeah, okay, everything. Okay. Let's put that back. For now, I'm just going to kind of plonk that in my tool bag. I'm going to put these in the system until such time as I deem we're going to overhaul the entire thing. I might do the actual pulling of the wiring between episodes. We'll see. The author of RS is on the server, or was in Dyer's videos earlier. Yeah, Dyer asked him if there was a block to put items in the world. Yeah, there's a constructor. At least it looks like it. I would assume that's what this is. Constructor and destructor. You actually, constructor puts things out based upon a filter, and destructor destroys them and sucks them into the system. That's my guess. So I'm assuming that's what the actual guy, the person, the mod author would say. Let's see, wireless grid. So wireless transmitter. Let's make one of those. I'm actually gonna end up needing. Where are? I'm gonna get all these out. Okay, let's go over here real quick. I'm gonna see if I can make wireless access to this thing, because I think it'd be skippy. Boop. Let's make one of those. And the rest of that should be relatively easy. Means non-placeable ones. What are you talking about, Damon? You mean not place, but drop something into the world? Like a dispenser? I'm trying to decipher. Okay. That was painless enough. I think we just go. I'm a little lost. I cannot. Okay, wireless transmitter. Does anybody know what I'm supposed to be doing with this wireless transmitter? It won't place, or at least I don't know where it will place. There was being lazy. He was trying to automate Britannia. Yeah, so dropping stuff into the world. Dude, just pipe it into a dispenser and redstone signal based on yada yada stuff. Trying to automate the runic altar.
Attached on a cable.
Oh yeah, cable. Let me see if that works. Hang on a sec. We should get some of this stuff. Maybe I go like this and then. Hey! You're a genius, Cuts. That looks ugly as heck, but you're a genius.
Ugh.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
They need some help with those cables.
yeah, I'm sure I can whip something up.
So yeah, we now need to look at, let's see, wireless grid. Oh, that's not bad at all. Let's get... I'm actually gonna do...
I'm liking these materials.
What, the materials it uses?
No, the stone that's made from stone and demon wool clusters shard things.
Oh, the stuff that you're making for... Do you have that stuff down yet?
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
building the building out of it.
Hang on a sec. I'm gonna go peek. Ooh, wow. Ooh. That's got some texture to it. Okay, I have to admit those columns are hot.
There's a load of other blocks that are there, but I can't make them because their recipe contains some unknown item.
That's always awesome. This is
Which
gonna look
really sucks because one of my favorite kind of tiling shapes is the ones that are kind of, quarter of a block square tiles.
Yeah.
And that there is a texture for that, but it's not accessible right now.
Okay. It's modern art. Tiny range, even with range upgrades. 32 blocks, I believe. Still. It's going to be better than this thing, I think. Go over here and see how...
Good for in the house.
Yeah. One of those. The crafting is eminently simple, and I like that. They're not overcomplicating things. They have different tiers of materials, and those tiers of materials come into play where necessary. But otherwise, it's very straightforward. It's like, an ender pearl here, and quartz enriched iron there, and, it's nothing terribly overdone. And while I do think that to a certain extent, there is a need for a merit, I should say. I wonder how I charge it. Okay, it's linked. Oh, there we go. Did you put it in there? No? These are... there is something non-intuitive about this. I'm missing. Maybe there's a charger block.
That's just what I was looking at.
Yeah, speed upgrades.
I haven't found one yet.
I'm okay with actually. I get the speed upgrades for the solderer for people that are maybe wanting to do large batches of stuff, but for the most part, I really don't work that way. I am okay with being slightly patient. You know, it's okay. It's cool. Hey, Sin Eyes, what's going on, man? You can charge it like any other tool that uses energy. What? Like just stick it in the. Does it auto convert? What? Dip me in chocolate and call me a Smurf. Huh. It works. Okay. So if we do this, I'm going to go over here. Okay, yeah, yeah. That's not bad. From here to there, that is not bad at all. Yeah, okay, these terminals are super easy to deal with, Cuts. Which means basically if we get they just charge up RF and convert it to its own power unit. Which means if we get a wireless charger from Indir.io in here, ooh, idea has formed within my wee little brain. Wireless wireless, let's see. Do I have all that? I think I do have all of that. I need an Enderman head. I need one. We have two. Silicon. That's silicon. We have a whole bunch over here. I need soul. We do not have that. We are out of that. I have no soul. Okay, I do have that. And then gold. I like gold. Let's get this. Let's make some more. Literally just need two. RS is RF. The author just hit the wrong key. Really? I hope you're being a smart ass there. Because that's funny otherwise. Smurfs are blue, Bagram, unless you have blue chocolate. It's just, it's one of them random things. Don't mind me. Let's see. Go over here. We gotta do it. What else do I need? Oh, right. And I need vibrant something. One of those. Wow. Okay, there we go. That's what I needed. Need to make some more vibrant alloy. Butter my butt and call me a biscuit. That is funny, Preach. And an octatic. Do we have a capacitor lying around? No. Okay. I always have to remember this. I need what? 4 doubles? 4 basics? 2, 3, 4, I think. I always forget which ones go. Oh, now I have to make some vibrant alloy. Okay. That is energetic. Do we actually have any energetic? Let's do... I'm going to need at least 4.
Way popped up just before bed. I'm relaying the errors.
Tell him he's a plebeian.
It's a shame. They're such nice looking blocks as well.
Put those in there for right now.
It's fixed. Will be done in next version.
Poor way. Got schmucks like us bugging him.
Pretty big when several of the blocks are uncraftable.
Minor detail, Cuts. You're being picky again. Jeez.
Yeah.
Picky.
But
Okay, this is processing. We get to sit here and stare at a alloy smelter while it works. If you choke a Smurf, what color are they? I'm gonna say red.
purple.
Oh, purple. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I don't know. Whatever. Color theory.
Red plus purple. Red plus blue equals purple, so they're purple.
Okay.
Honestly, we never know what color Smurf's blood is anyway. So
Yeah, that's my point. Is we don't actually know what color Smurf blood is.
I don't think that's ever addressed.
But there's a lot of people that are saying they go purple, like that's a thing that happened in an episode or something.
Yeah, but that was when they were like turned evil or something. Something like that.
What? Are we talking about those horrible movies that came out?
No, I'm talking about one of the old cartoons.
Oh, evil Smurfs.
Yeah, they got turned evil at one
Like
point.
cursed or something.
I do not
Started
remember.
biting everyone.
Is that when the baby Smurfs were around?
I don't even know anymore. I don't know how old I was when I saw them.
If it's not the
I'm
original
pretty
run,
sure,
if it's not the
I'm
original run of
pretty sure it
cartoons,
was
they're dead to me.
Pre-baby.
It's what, baby?
Pre-baby Smurfs.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's if it's not the original run of cartoons, it's dead to me. So. Almost there. Okay, we can put those back. Smurfette was evil at first. I do remember that. First couple of episodes, she was supposed to be a plant by Gargamel. And then she ended up overriding her programming and breaking loose of Gargamel's control. She had a little pocket thing, makeup compact or whatever that she would talk to him with. See, when Smurfs came out, Smurfs were a very devious amount of marketing that went into those and like G.I. Joes and stuff like that. So, big chunk of my childhood was based on cartoons that were completely centered around, hey, what can we sell to kids? But I'm not bitter. Let's see, do we have doubles? We don't have doubles. Did I already go too far? There's a double. Enter. I already have to make more of that stuff? Okay. Let's get half that. We need glowstone. And we're gonna do gold. Actually, I'm not gonna use all of that. I'm gonna do a percentage. Okay, let's wait for these to get done.
Okay, you don't fill the gems by crafting the crystal against it. I don't know why. Why does the...
Is he trying to make our heads hurt or what? Yeah, He-Man was a half-hour commercial, Zant. You're 100% correct. G.I. Joe was basically the same thing. They tried to get around it by having PSAs and, the safety things. They did the same thing with the Super Friends. And it's sad to know that they had to... Oh, yeah, I need one of those. They had to, shoehorn in some educational or safety stuff for kids just so they could still market the other, 90% of it and try and sell things. It is a little sad, but whatever. Electrical, I thought we had more. Okay, no, we don't. We're out of everything, apparently. Iron, coal dust, and silicone. Iron. Coal dust. Got lots of that.
the crafting the crystal with the gem thing exists for changing what type of will the gem holds, but the recipe is still there if the gem is already the same type. I said he should deny that.
That's a little weird. Here we go. So much step that we're out of. Okay. So now the only thing we are missing is the electrical steel. Let's get that. Anyone remember Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego? I do remember that, Greater C. That was an awesome show. I remember there was a musical group that sang the intro for it, and they were called Rockapella, which is a great name, but, you know, those guys vanished. Who knows where they are now? Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, I remember that show. It was weird. Legends of the Hidden Temple is coming back. Legends of the Hidden Temple is not coming back. It's silly. It's dumb. I don't know who they're even marketing that for. It makes no sense. Because all of the people that they're aiming it for, the original audience, are like older, and new kids nowadays aren't going to remember it. They're not going to know. It's one of those weird things that just don't entirely make sense to me. Okay, I'm just going to get this and put it right there. Which means now this is... Yep, 100%. That is constantly topped off. Okay, there you go. Didn't get much better than that. I just realized I'm running out of bread. That is depressing. Okay, let's do... Oh, no, I have to toast it a second time. Okay, so let's take a look back at refined storage. We could get going right now. I've got cables, so we could run stuff upstairs if we wanted to. We can hide those cables behind chisels and bits. We have a crafting grid screen thing. I do kind of miss having a flat little panel you can just stick on the wall or chisel and bit around. Having an entire block is kind of
Yeah.
But still.
But that's A1.
Okay, so let's look at it this way. Let's do some... Wait a minute. Let's do
Is
some
there
research.
whole blocks then?
Yeah, we could put the whole block there, but it's going to look kind of... I don't know. It'll look ugly. Let's take this thing out. Set the housing aside. So I have a 4K drive, right? If we're going to go up to 64K storage, which would be 64,000 items, then that's 64K storage. There we go. Wait a minute, what? Yeah. So if somebody wants to do the math on every single one of these, so I already have a 4K. If I'm going to do up to 16, I need 4 more 4Ks. No, that's not right. I need 2 more 4Ks. Which means I need 6 1Ks. Okay, let's see if we can actually do this real quick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. I'm running low on something. I'm not sure what. Then we're going to do... Oh, right. I need... I'm just going to get all these things out. I have no clue how many I'm going to need. Eight 4Ks. 8 4Ks? To go to 16, it requires 1, 2, 3, 4Ks. Oh, you're talking about to get all the way up to 64? Eight 4Ks. Okay, so we have 1Ks, and it's going to require 3 1Ks to make a 4K, and I need two more 4Ks. Yeah, okay. I need 4 8 of those. So basically, let's do that. And I need to make, what are those? Those are just silicon. Okay. I need another stack of silicon. Okay. 48 1Ks to make a 64. Subtract the 3 you have in one 4K. So you need 45 1K drives and 60 silicon. Wow, Brad, with the math. Okay, Chris Jackman says, I remember Mask, M-A-S-K, the abbreviation. We're talking about cartoons and stuff in chat. Mask was another one of those things that was the ultimate marketing cartoon, where they had the toys that would change and transform to some other toy. So it was like a motorcycle that would turn into a little helicopter.
I made a friend a skin based on that for Minecraft.
Really? What, the Mask stuff?
Yeah.
That could be cool. Let's go see what Cuts is doing on that steps of processing. Man, this is going to look awesome, Cuts. It's already looking amazing.
I'm just sad that I'm restricted in what type of blocks I can use, because there's like 4 other types of blocks
Blame Way.
that won't be accessible into the next version. Maybe I'll stop there for now.
It's his fault. He's teasing you with it. Okay, let's get those. Let's get this out. Get this out. I'm just going to do 32 of those for right now, right off the bat. Who remembers Codename Kids Next Door? I do. That show's awesome. Yeah, Dukes of Hazzard. Ferg says he watched all of his shows in Vagrant Vision. It's called a black and white television, Ferg.
Yeah, retroactively refer to everything that was black and white as Vagrant Vision.
Vagrant Vision. I'm going to copyright it. Trademark it. Trademark it. That's right. Wrong phrase. Trademark it. Yep. Silverhawks, great marketing cartoon. It was shameless marketing cartoon, but yeah, it was a marketing cartoon. Codename Kid Next Door, I think, was still a brilliant show to this day. I think it's way underrated. Really good show.
I think I just about single-handedly wore down our local video store's copy of the 1986 Transformers movie.
Oh man, I have a DVD version of that somewhere. That's the one that's actually got voiceover work by Leonard Nimoy and what's the guy's name?
Orson Welles' last performance as Unicron.
Yep.
The last performance before he died.
He died shortly after the wrap-up of that movie. He had a heart attack. Yeah, Orson Welles as Unicron. Oh my God, that movie is so 80s it hurts, but I do
The music literally never stops at any point.
It's like a constant soundtrack that's just one song, 2 hours long. It's great.
It's just one big mix with cartoons on top.
Yep. Yeah, see, Burr owes me royalty rights for using Vagrant Vision now. He doesn't know. All that time, he was using my technology. Actually, it's Cuts' technology. You owe him. Send him $1. We can get him a new headset that way. Come on, camera. Don't slide off now. Yep, Gen 1 Transformers movie. Absolutely loved it. That old cartoon was great. There we go. So now we do pour and pour to get the other drives I need. Oop, no, let's get all my parts over here. We can put that back. We can put that back. And I might almost have what I need to boost up to 16K drive. Maybe.
And Unicron really had a high tolerance for Megatron's kind of back talk.
Unicron. Yeah, it was fun. I do remember.
I have summoned you here for a purpose. Nobody summons Megatron.
Exactly.
Then it pleases me to be the first.
Yeah, when you have a planet that eats other planets, that summons you. Sorry, I don't care how important you think you are.
Oh, he didn't. Megatron didn't know when he was like, "Show yourself."
No,
It's
that
like
was
standing on.
Yeah, that was the great part when he transforms into the giant robot, and Megatron is floating off into space. You know, and looking at him like the whole thing.
Yeah.
Great movie. Bad movie, but a great movie.
It's simultaneously terrible and wonderful.
Hey, Dylan Box, what's going on? Cyber Chase, I have no clue what Cyber Chase is, Greater C. Let's see. Yeah, I agree with Paula. I watched 80s movies now, and I cannot believe how we thought the graphics were so awesome back then. Yeah, the animation. I grew up watching stuff like the old Speed Racer. And if you go back and watch the old Speed Racer, it actually feels like somebody is poking my eyes with fingers. I mean, that's how bad that cartoon is nowadays. In terms of like animation quality, the original Voltron, I would rather paper cut myself than watch that animation. But that cartoon was so important to me back then. It's just kind of like, oh my gosh. Okay. So let's do...
You mind if I drop a quick video link?
You have permission. You can. I mean, literally...
Well, I meant for the sake of distracting. It's the theme tune. You know, You Got the Touch. People listen to it in the
really?
background or something. Yeah, with the full video.
I can't play it on stream, but we can all nostalgically listen to it later.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, people listen to it in the background or whatever.
Fire away. 16K storage. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Which means now we basically have 16,000 things for the storage. I can put that right there. And I could probably load this up with our entire system. Because, I mean, everything we have is up here. Or in these drawers. I could leave the drawers hooked up. And I could probably get this and maybe a couple of 16K or maybe like a... I don't know. Shoot up. I could work up to a 64K drive. But, I mean, it's not a ton of stuff. This is the problem child. And I could leave this and do an external storage thing on it. But honestly, I need to get all these in storage drawers anyway because it would be more seamless to have them in compacting drawers. We would have less trouble. There would be less problems with OR dictionary and having two different kinds of copper ingots. Stuff like that. That would be less of a hassle. See, like we have block of copper right there. Block of copper right there. And this drives me batty. Let's go down here. So we put that in there. Put all the rest. That one's gone now. We take them all out. And put them back in the system. Yeah. So I could get all of this stuff, take it out and put it into compacting drawers, and that would be, I think, a good use of resources and expenditures on things. I don't know why some of this stuff's in here, but whatever. But like, that's not that much. This we could go into one storage drawer if we wanted to. The molten cores, same with the zombie hearts. Meh, only a little bit. Like some of this stuff, we could put these ender shards into a storage drawer. Everything else is not that much. So I mean, really, big chunks of this stuff. we probably... Oh, right, that's the remote, the wireless thing for one of the mom's monster phones. So, okay, I actually have to get a count because I have lost count on time. Elapsed time, 1 hour and 27 minutes. Okay, there we go. So, we only have one 16K drive. I do agree that 64K is the best way to go. But the beauty of this whole system is that I could make another 16K and then wait on making the third 16 before going to 64K. It's not like it is it's not disadvantageous. That's not a word. It's not bad to just stop at 2 16Ks and go to 64 later. It's okay. Let me catch up on chat here real quick.
For once, they're not talking about food, so you can't blame me this time.
I'll find a way to blame you anyway. Hook your quantum quarry into a drive. That is true. If we used wireless storage and hooked up the quantum quarry, we could funnel it into this. We could actually do a bit more ore processing automation with this system too. It's a bit more capable than the Ender IO system is.
Endpoints anywhere. That's the important part. The fact is you just run a cable anywhere and connect anything to everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now we could run a cable anywhere with this Ender IO system, but the problem is it is not very good about automating output to, like, it's kind of...
Well, that's what I mean. It's not like a full system connectivity. It's just an in-out kind of thing.
So, yeah, we do have, let's see, external storage. There is an exporter. So that's the same. We still got the cables. We have importers, so we could have if we had ender chests, but nobody wants to use multi-storage on this server. If we had like an ender chest, you could do the whole ender chest and ender pouch thing, and have a universal input for your system like we used to do for AE, AE2. But you can do that. We could do that with just a wireless storage unit from RF Tools, modular storage, that way you could do a wireless card and have multiple inputs into one point, or multiple ways to input into that one point. But yeah, crafting monitor, I'm still fuzzy about the auto crafting. I'm assuming that once you start, I'm just curious.
I don't know. I mean, we definitely something to investigate because, I want to see what that does anyway. I want to see how it works to make sure it actually does work how I'm hoping.
Okay, so let's get one of those. And, okay, let's go over here. I'm just curious, what happens if I make one of these 1K storage blocks and put it down? What happens? Do I suddenly have like an interface? I right click on it and just put some auto crafting stuff in there, like recipes or whatever. Let's do that. I think it's that and that. Is that how it goes?
That's the point. That's maybe where you put the recipes this time.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious about. Maybe, the bigger it is, the more slots you have or something. I don't know.
Maybe the recipes have a size based on the materials required to build them. And you need to contain that.
Okay.
Rather than in the other one where you contain the stuff.
Yeah, 1K storage.
Well, it has a thing in it.
Okay, so...
Hang on. What we need... Now if I take the disk out... So now we have no apparent storage, right?
Right.
Does it still work? Is it storing stuff in there, or is it...
No, those slots are dark now. Put it back in.
Cool, that's good.
Maybe? Did you put the drive back in?
Yeah, I have now.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe it was my imagination. I have no clue, but I'm not sure. My question is now, we actually have a... where was it?
Yeah, it's literally physical storage.
Physical storage for what? The
yeah, look,
patterns?
I took the drive out. No, I took the drive out. There's nothing in the drive, but the storage block has 14 because I put 14 logs into the system. So it's just straight up another, like, a drive in the world.
Oh, that's all this is? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Okay, so that is just a physical storage medium.
That's less exciting than I'd hoped.
Less
I
exciting.
really hope the crafting's not bad. I really hope the crafting's not bad. It might be bad.
Wait a minute. Let's look at this real quick, okay?
We have no real way to test whether it's bad, though. That's the problem.
There's a crafter block.
Yeah.
Too advanced. Wait a minute. I need... oh, I have two. Hang on a second. Let me go make some stuff real quick, and let's make the crafter. Let's see what the heck that is. Because I'm curious. Okay, well, those two things are making... The very last thing on the chain, I need.
Why even are there storage blocks?
Do it. Why are there?
It's like, why? Yeah, I mean, it's not as if it's. I mean, what advantage is that?
Maybe we're supposed to hook that into a block that is like the crafting like CPU, and it makes a multi-block. Like there's a thing called a relay. I don't know what that does. Network receiver. Network transmitter.
Oh, the relay is probably for connecting two networks, so they share power but not inventory.
Okay. Crafting monitor.
There was a thing like that in 81.
Okay, so there's the crafter. Let's get... I need more silicon.
Well, AE1 crafting worked decently, but it really broke down in some specific circumstances, and that's where AE2 didn't, because the specific redesign of AE2's crafting was to avoid that kind of error.
I have no clue. We are literally just gonna have, I'm, guessing. Flying by the seat of my pants. This is what I do best. Not really. I'm just gonna make a few of these things. Not all 30 whatevers. Pattern grid, pattern terminal. Yeah. The pattern grid, I'm pretty sure, is like a crafting grid, but you're putting the patterns into. That's what I'm guessing that is. Unless, I mean, it's looking at the crafting grid and making patterns to store on. See, here's a pattern drive. So you probably get the pattern grid. You just get a normal grid, a pattern. How do you make the patterns?
Because the pattern grid is for making crafting recipes, and the processing pattern encoder is for making ones that aren't just straight crafting. Stuff like iron ore goes in, iron ingot comes out for a furnace or whatever.
Wait a minute, what? Say that again?
The pattern grid allows you to create crafting recipes which are the crafting patterns which are crafting, whereas the other one does processing, which is like, iron ore goes in, iron ingot comes out for a furnace that you'd plug into an interface.
Yeah, that was like that was how it was with
yeah.
AE1. That's how it was with AE1 or AE2? Was it AE1?
You could do processing in the thing, couldn't you? You could do processing in the pattern grid, because you could switch what type the pattern was.
I think. Man, it has been so long. Wait a minute. What do we need for this thing?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, construction and destruction.
So long without it. It has to work well, because you can only tolerate playing so much of something like GregTech without having it so to the point where you build it to automate it. All the parts are very receptive to doing so because they're all standardized components, but crafting those standardized components is a massive pain if you have to do it every time by hand.
Crafter holds patterns.
Right.
I'm betting. Let's make a pattern.
It has slots for it. Has 9 slots.
So if we make we're gonna have to make a pattern first, and then make another grid. Let's make some patterns, and we have to make another grid. Let's make another one of those. I need 1, 2 of those. Whoops. And then those are 2 basic ones. Okay. So what we do... Oh, awesome. I have the 2 basic ones already done. Hey! 1, 2. 1, 2. I got to make a grid and then combine it with some stuff to make a pattern grid, which we can then plonk down and see what happens when we make a pattern and put it in the crafter. And then if it's that simple, it's basically the crafter blocks are what you make, what you do to store your auto-crafting with. I assume.
They have upgrade slots, so I assume they're individual crafting machines.
Yeah, well, they probably have speed upgrades and stuff. Crafting speed or whatnot. Okay. We have to go over here. Let's do... I already have some. Haha. All that back now. Quartz. I'm going to get one of those. Construction. Glowstone. Construction. Then we're going to do grid. And then I need pattern grid is a top tier drive. People are probably shouting at me in chat right now that I'm screwing something up, but I'm so focused. Yes, Mr. V. $16K RAM, 256K hard drive. I remember playing Oregon Trail in elementary school. I put my arm in a sleeve and pretended it was broken and in a sling when it happened in game. That is awesome, Dynex. I do remember playing that game. Uh-oh. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
An error occurred. Please try again later. Playback something. My monitor on my own live stream literally just went haywire. Blink twice if you're still there. Blink twice if they're holding you hostage. Everybody, quick.
Hmm.
No, I'm guessing they're saying it. Okay. Nobody's saying anything, so I'm guessing it's okay. So
Fun
now
fact, Dark Preacher, I covered that in history of games as an actual module at university. I also played Colossal Cave.
As far as I can tell, the stream is fine, hon.
Okay, my playback.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything drop yet.
Yeah, my playback went conkers. I've dropped 2.9% of my total frames for the last hour and 20 minutes. So YouTube's having problems.
Hmm.
I have considered, because they have been improving their service, I have considered dusting off. Well, that's hideous. Let's see. There is some more patterns. I'm just going to do this. Get this. Put this here. One glowstone, which means now...
Craft. There it is.
Okay, so now if I put that in there... I'm considering dusting off Restream.io. Restream.io would mean I would be able to live stream simultaneously to YouTube Gaming /YouTube and to Twitch, which means that some people seem to get better performance with one than the other. I would have an app which would let me monitor chat on both sides. Now, each chat would still be separate and individual, but I am considering doing that because YouTube's not upping their game recently. They've been having a lot of problems, and they're basically ignoring their developers, which is not great.
You could bridge it like T-Love does.
How does he bridge it, though?
He has a bot that relays the one chat to the other and vice versa.
Oh, once upon a time, I used to have a bot that did that. It relayed it between IRC. It relayed YouTube chat and Twitch chat to IRC. But yeah, I need to talk to T-Love about how he relays back and forth. The delay is quite long, says Brad Batslaff. What, the delay for... No, I have live streamed with Restream.io, and max delay I ever get is like 30 seconds, which is honestly only like 5 above, maybe 10 above what I get for YouTube. YouTube's always 20 to 25. I cannot make it any lower. So... Okay, so this is the auto crafting system, which is super simple. Basically, you just have to make loads of these things and stack them. What do you think?
Makes sense. I like the other one. I think I like the complexity a bit of 2 more in that, you know, having to put things.
Right, but while this does not have the complexity, and several parts of this mod doesn't have the complexity too, does this at least sound bad in terms of like bottlenecking and performance and stuff like that?
No, not really.
Okay.
The thing I'm concerned with is how it moves the items around internally and whether it'll get stuck or not. Because 2 was designed deliberately to not get stuck in the situations where 1 did, and I don't know whether this has picked up on that or whether it's doing the naive way. And we don't really have a way to test it because we don't have mods that require that kind of management.
Okay, wait a minute. Have it craft a glowstone block. Go ahead and tell it to do it and watch. Watch the glowstone dust count very carefully. You notice how it's moving them over one at a time?
Yeah.
So there is a definite speed. There is each component.
My concern was,
yeah.
Like for instance, if you have, say for instance, you have a machine that can do more than one recipe. So like a furnace, but you have multiple inputs. I suppose like the alloy smelter, right?
Right.
If you have a recipe that has 2 different things required that both require the alloy smelter, one would sometimes put them both in at once and they would get stuck.
See, that's the thing. When I did stuff like that, that's where I had task-specific alloy smelters. I had an alloy smelter that was going to be using just one recipe because I kept getting bottlenecks otherwise.
Yeah. 2 specifically avoided that with how it stored the items.
Right.
And it's not really practical to have individual things like that when you're running something like GregTech, where you have large multi-use machines like the assembler, which are deliberately meant to be used for like 50 different recipes.
Yes, but Cuts, GregTech is pure evil.
Same thing applies, as I say, though. Same thing applies to the alloy smelter. And
wait a minute, that was an awesome noise. Oh god, that was hilarious. Anyway, yes, no, I get the point. GregTech's had to me, it's good periods and it's bad periods. But yeah.
Point is, there are things that have multiple inputs, and if it jams, that's bad.
Yeah,
any mod.
With this, we're not going to know unless we specifically set up to try it. And we can build up some resources and some parts and do that next live stream. We could try
just move the alloy smelter, plop it on, and make a recipe that uses 2 things from the alloy smelter and see if it goes wrong.
We could intentionally try to break it and just come back to the mod author and say, hey, dude,
Yeah. The thing is, if it does do that, it's going to require an entire rethink of how the system functions. And that's big.
Yes, but they would at least know. It could be something they could at least put on their to-do list.
It's a concern that I can definitely voice if it does go wrong.
Okay, so
nice part of having people nearby to bug.
Right. So the storage blocks are kind of useless.
Yeah, I don't know what those are for. They're weird.
Yeah, I'm literally just gonna toss it back into the storage system. Let's get this thing and put that down next to, so we can at least make some. There's some patterns.
Though I suppose it could be a thing for people who want to do it where they, for instance, ban the disk drive. So you have to use the storage blocks if you want to store something in the network rather than having external storage.
What, like specifically adventure maps or like different game modes?
Or just a mod pack or whatever.
I
mean, to be honest, I was considering doing that with the one I'm working on for the sake of, I think the drives are too kind of compact, magic boxy.
Okay, wait a minute.
I like the idea of using it for the logistics. I don't like it so much for the storage.
So let's get, the 16K drive is out. I have it in my inventory, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put this down. We're going to go over here. I'm going to get a glowstone block and put it in the system, which means it should now be in this, and it is in this block,
it is.
Right? So
yeah.
What happens if I break this? And then put it back down.
It's still
there. That doesn't solve the problem. It's still removable drive storage. It's still removable.
Oh no, but
in
a thing, you can stick 8 things into one block, but instead of you have to stick 8 things into 8 blocks.
Oh, I see.
Bigger.
Size limitation.
Yeah.
The architecture of it. Never mind. That kind of makes sense. I get it. Storage blocks are it's not bulk storage. It's less bulk. It's bulky storage, Preacher. It literally doesn't make sense. It's a
Well,
DSU.
you're still going to get a lot more in one of those than a chest.
Wait a minute. It's a DSU with limited... What? Mode whitelist. Okay, so I still don't have any... I'm going to get... Let's just get one piece of quartz. See, this has 2 blocks. This is not DSU. This is mixed storage. Hey, Stark, what's going on?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be mixed.
It's mixed medium storage. It's not isolated like the first thing that goes into it or whitelisted.
Still going to fit more than a chest, though, even in the little ones.
What's 1,000 items? What's 64 times? How many?
Actually, hang on. 64 times 27.
Yeah.
Or is it 36 in a chest?
Go check.
No, it's 27. So no, you would get less in a 1K storage block, but the other ones are definitely going to be more.
Right, but my point is that it does not prevent any kind of a mobile. It's just bulk. It's literally an issue of house architecture.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's weird. It's super weird. It seems like you would have one or the other turned on, but not.
Yeah,
both.
I don't know why I don't know why those blocks are currently there when drives are available.
Right.
But I could see why they would exist if you turn the drives off.
I'm actually gonna put the supplies I've been working with. Supplies. Let's get this and put it back in the main system. For now, I'm just going to dump these in here because I'm going to be moving back and forth between it and the soldering machine. So the solderer. Yeah, so I do see your point about how you can put 8 drives in one block. So you could have 8 times 64 in a 1 block space. Or you could have people restricted to the storage blocks, which means it would be 8 blocks of 64K storage per block.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's literally just an issue of how much physical space you want it to take up. Yeah, that seems kind of strange that both would be turned on.
Yeah, as to say, I think they would be good with one or the other, but I don't know why they exist right now, why they're available right now, I should say, when we do have drives. I mean, I think that they're slightly cheaper to make than a drive, but that's not really a concern when you can fit 8 in one block.
It uses storage drive. Hang on a sec. No, it's literally more expensive. Because a machine casing is 8 quartz enriched iron. A drive is 3 quartz enriched iron, 2 glass, and 3 redstone. So the 1K storage block requires 8 quartz enriched iron plus 1 piece of silicon, 1 piece of redstone, 1 piece of iron. So it's actually way more expensive to make the blocks.
Individually.
Yeah.
Advanced processor for the drives, but then don't you need an advanced processor to build the original core?
What are you talking about? Oh, the disk drive?
No, the base core thing, network core, whatever it's called, control. Yeah, you do need a diamond.
What are you talking about? Control? Where are you?
Yeah, you know how you need the network controller.
The controller
requires a diamond. I was wondering whether it's like, well, to build a drive, you need a diamond. Do you need a diamond for the thing? Yes, you do. So it won't be that. I'll just have to ask him about the reasoning when I next get hold of them.
I figured those would be hooked up to your your crafting, but it's like instead you have this
I fully expected that. It's weird.
Now here's another weird thing I'm noticing. If you look at the texture on this thing, doesn't it look like the back end that's pointed towards the grid block? Doesn't it look like it should be aimed at something?
Both ends look like they should aim at something, to be honest. This thing does.
But I mean, if you look at the side textures, it's like they're coming off of.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the end that looks like it should point at something. It's like an eye.
That looks like an emitter to me of some kind. Like stuff's going to come out of there or something. But it's weird. It makes me wonder if you can put those around one of the storage blocks and something happens, or I don't know what. It's weird. I need to ask the guy about it and see what's going on, because bits of it don't make sense to me. Okay, wait a minute. The storage, is it per item or per stack? It's per item. So when you see 64,000 whatever, that is per item, not per stack. So 64,000 is 64,000 items.
In any combination of stacks.
Exactly, in any combination of anything. It is counting each individual object, which is basically exactly how McJitty does it for modular storage. It's the exact same system. It's cheaper than the drive because you need the disk drive to hold up the drives. While that is true, the disk
It
drive
quickly gets out of hand.
The disk drive is still one machine casing and
New
one advanced
subscriber.
processor. Ooh, back to
Unless you're extremely starved on diamonds, it's still better to build the drive.
No, it's
Better build a drive than the blocks, unless you're extremely starved on diamonds and can't build the drive casing. If you only have literally one diamond.
I mean, it's still an issue of if you have one diamond, you have to make the controller. Then you could.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you couldn't also make the disk drive. But if you're starved on diamonds, but you're also going to have a plethora of nether quartz and iron, that seems backwards. It seems like usually if you're short on one thing, you're short on across the board, you know?
Depends on how you're generating the ore. There's mods that change that.
Yeah. The blue dot can be aimed at a machine to use processing patterns on machines, i.e. the sag mill. What? So
it's instead of an interface.
Oh, okay. So it also works as. So the dot side gets aimed at another machine and it uses the crafting recipes on that machine.
Okay, so interfaces no longer work as that. Are interfaces just passive inserts now?
Interface. What do you mean?
The interface before that was in A1 you would take the interface and you would point it in a direction and you would put the crafting recipes for processing patterns into there and have that pointing at a machine.
Right. So this is
so
an interface.
What are interfaces for in this now? Are they just passive input where you can ship items into it and they go into the system?
We don't have interfaces.
Don't you?
No, we don't have interfaces. Exporter, importer, cable, external storage, and then there's constructor and destructor.
Grid, crafting grid, pattern grid, fluid grid, interface, drives.
Oh, wait a minute. No. Importer and exporter plus a basic drive is an interface. That's odd.
Yeah.
You're right. Hang on a second. Can I make... No, because all the stuff's over here. Hang on a sec.
Non-stackables presumably still count as one item.
Okay, I'm going to have construction cores and destruction cores and la 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 la. Okay.
Might as well make these things as patterns to go in the machine while you go.
Make them as who? What?
Make these crafting patterns so you don't have to manually do them anymore.
Well, that's the thing, is what I might do is rearrange it so this crafter is actually aimed down at the solderer. Then we can actually do patterns for all the stuff that goes in the solderer.
Probably need another one for actually doing the crafting though.
What do you mean?
Well, if it's pointing at that, it presumably can't do normal crafting.
Oh, right. Yes, we would have to make another one for normal crafting. But I mean, still, as long as we can automate the actual parts, I can just combine on the crafting grid the rest of it. I'm okay with that. That would at least be a start. But then, yes, we would have to make a second one.
Usually the first pattern I made was for more blank patterns.
Yeah, interfaces are just I/O now, as I understand it, says Brad Batzlaff. How will it handle non-stackable items? A non-stackable item is just an item. So if you have one item that's like a pick that's damaged, so it doesn't stack with other stuff, like a pickaxe, in theory it would just count as one, which I actually kind of like.
I did use interfaces for that as well, which is nice. It's good that they're still there. Strange that the functionality's switched to the crafter now, though. But fair enough. Actually, how much do they cost? That's a legitimate concern. Oh my goodness, they're expensive.
What? What are you looking at?
Crafters.
Yeah, it is 2 diamonds.
That is really bad if you're in a thing that needs lots of machines rather than crafting.
Well, so that's my curiosity: is what does the actual export and the interface do? Is the interface?
Oh, it can present a number of an item to be extracted by other things, and it will accept into the system anything that is piped into it.
And that's it. So
Yeah.
it's a dumbed down interface from the old system.
It's the interface as it was minus the crafting component of it.
Right. So that means that crafters are actually
Crafters are really expensive.
It's 2 diamonds. That's what the advanced processors are. That's the tier 3, and then it's tier 1 processors with a glowstone and a quartz.
I don't like that.
And then That is 12 quartz enriched iron. So yeah, that is quite expensive. That's hefty. And that's the one thing I thought was interesting. I did not realize, I did not think about what its purpose is going to be. Now, it's cool that you can aim it at a machine, but requiring 2 diamonds for one of these things when you're going to be using a ton of them, that seems bad. So
yeah, I mean, this is why I like the idea of that being expensive for the actual crafting part of it.
Yeah.
But when that's also on the machine, where the machine is doing 99% of the work,
right?
Why do you have to pay all those diamonds to do that? That's really bad when you have to have 7 or 8 machines. That's going to be cripplingly expensive for an early setup.
Meki71, thank you very much for subscribing. Also, I did see that Effect 2.0 subscription. I'm on to you, Effect. I'm teasing. Let's see. John Wary asks, how goes the VC4 mod build? The mod list hasn't actually no, we just had an update over the weekend, and the mod list did change. We had some additions, no subtractions, which is amazing. So, okay. Yeah, I'm liking parts of the mod, but other parts either don't make sense or they seem... It's like parts of it are underpriced and parts of it are way overpriced. It's like it's kind of up and down, you know what I mean?
It's not overpriced for the fact that it can do crafting. It's overpriced for attaching to a machine, though.
No, that's my point, though, is if it's supposed to be the thing that you are using to aim at, let's say, a sag melt. No. Okay, let's say we're aiming it at an alloy smelter, and we're going to give it recipes for this is how you make vibrant alloy, this is how you make energetic alloy, yada, 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 all those things, right? So we can tell it,
very
hey,
expensive for that.
Yeah, that's real expensive for that purpose. As a multi-part crafting block is doing autocrafting, I actually don't have as much problem with it.
Oh yeah, for it handling crafting, it's perfectly fine. But for the interface onto another machine, nah, too expensive.
Yes. See, that's the thing. So we would have to get an interface and then a separate machine. It'd be like the old way to do it from AE1.
Yeah, you have to pull it out. Well, I mean, even then, AE1, you plopped it into an interface and you put the patterns in an interface and it did it.
Did it?
Yeah, I had whole lines of interfaces with machines stuck on them.
I seem to remember having separate machines per task. Maybe I remember something
Well,
else.
I mean, yeah, that might be required, but you just slapped an interface on the back of each machine. And you could put multiple things in, but they'd tend to get jammed because of the way the AE1 crafting worked.
No, I mean, that's my point, though, is that if you want to do it and have it streamlined and not jammed, you almost had to have a task-specific machine, one for each recipe. Otherwise, you had the risk of log jams.
AE2 fixed that, though. Its crafting made it so one machine could do it, and that's why I was hoping for this to be. I hope the system can do that. Because if it can't handle that, I've got big problems.
Don't forget, this mod is super early days still.
Yeah.
Boys,
Yeah?
time call, it's 10.
Oh, so it is.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, I've been looking down at my time, and it says an hour and 39 minutes because we had to restart the stream once. Okay. I tell you what, let's do. Swap over to face cam real quick. I do appreciate everybody bearing with us, hashing out how this mod works. It is fascinating to go through some of the early processes and steps of figuring out how some of these new mods work, especially ones that are overhauls of a previous concept. But I think we definitely have some notes that we're going to pass on to the creator because I've got some confusion points. Things that don't quite make sense to me. So, yeah, it's weird. The last line in chat is from Burgosaurus Rex, and it says, "Rip it open and lick the insides out of the bag." I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think if I want to know.
He's talking about the Preach's bag of biscuits and gravy flavored chips being empty.
Oh, gross. Those sound disgusting, Preacher. I hope you don't like those and eat those on purpose. Ugh.
Oops, I accidentally ate them all.
If he's sad that the bag is empty, I think he likes them.
Ugh. Not a fan of them, Jen. Too spicy. What? Oh, chicken tikka masala ones. Okay, yeah. Weird flavored, like fried chicken and pancakes flavored potato chips. You lost me. Sorry. Maybe I'm not as adventurous as I used to be, but there's just a point where I just want potato chips, you know? Or like the old Doritos or whatever. Let's not get too weird.
Salt and vinegar is my favorite.
I like salt and vinegar, but it actually kind of roughs up the inside of my mouth sometimes. It kind of depends on who makes them, but I do like them. My brother absolutely adores them. I used to like jalapeno, but they don't always make my tummy happy anymore, so it's a different.
I'm not a fan of hot foods. The thing is, it's a shame because I really like the flavor of chilies, but I don't like the heat.
Yeah, no, I get that. I actually do get that, Cuts. I 100% understand that, and I sympathize. I'm kind of the same way. I like the flavor now, but the heat doesn't always work with me anymore. Anyway, before we get derailed in another 15 minutes of food, thank you very much for coming this evening and hanging out with us for the last 2 hours. I am considering branching out, maybe trying out a couple of test streams next week with Restream.io, going to both places, see if we can have Twitch and YouTube, see how people like that, see how it works. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I would have Nightbot in both places. We might be able to automate some of the actual problems in terms of moderation on Twitch side, but we're just going to have to wing it and figure it out. Okay. Any parting words of wisdom, Mr. TTFT Cuts?
I hope Way fixes some of that stuff. I want to build more things.
He wants the fancy blocks.
I want the tiles, the ones that are the 4 square tiles, like we have over here, but in that material.
Yeah. Well, we'll get it figured out. Hopefully he'll get it done over the weekend.
He's already fixed it. It just needs a new version going on the server.
Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to catch you folks later. Thank you very much for having a good evening. Bye.